People, deluded, I'm back again. Good morning to you all. I hope you're all well and safe and you're all in good spirits. Most importantly, good health. Like I said, whoever you are, wherever you are in this world, thank you very much for tuning in each and every time. Now, I've had a browse this morning of Arsenal's transfer news. We know there's a deafening silence. One moment, I'm sure most Arsenal fans looked optimistic. It looked like there's something that can be done or could be done for Zaha. Kieran Tierney just looked like dotting I's and crossing the T's allegedly. And to be fair, allegedly there's progress in Saliba's case, but there's not been any signings crucially. And we've started pre-season. We go off to America. We go off to America. This week as well. It's the 9th? We start on the 11th of August, so we might as well say we've got a month or less than that. Well, just over a month. My maths would have been really poor there. Just over a month until the season starts. There's still a lot of time. I am panicking, but I'm not panicking. I'm not bashing and ranting and raving. There's still a lot of time, but considering out of the top six, I feel we needed to get it spot on the most. Yes, Chelsea have the Chelsea ban, but they got in the Champions League. United are equally as bad as us. We won't speak on them. But as an Arsenal fan, I felt we needed to get it right. We need to make advancements in terms of bringing in people, specifically defenders, allowing Emery time to coach them and gel them, get to further understand his tactics as a whole team collectively, and improve our away form, because the most damning statistics were away form last season and clean sheets. We kick off the season away from home. I know Newcastle, there's talk of new manager and question marks over owners and stuff, but as you start as you mean to go on. And if you look at the last opening weeks of the season, we actually haven't started too well, to be fair with you. We've got to start well. Last season, fair enough, we had City and Chelsea. There's not much you could do with them side, playing against them sides there. Chelsea were a better side than we were at the time. Well, in fact, no, they just had Surrey, so that might not be fair, but they had better players, more or less. City was always going to hold a beat in there, but you get the point, people. I'm sure most of you do. Cracking on. And Lemina of Southampton, it does look like he wants to leave Southampton. I did see a report on France Football, I think it's the specific name, a few weeks ago or days ago, saying that Lemina's agent said Southampton would let him leave. Fast forward to today, apparently Manchester United and Arsenal have made inquiries about him. He's been left out of the pre-season squad for Austria. So clearly, whether that's him last season forcing a move, whether the manager doesn't fancy him anymore, maybe they're at loggerheads regardless of his technical ability. Something's been said. They both want to cut ties with the club in that, cut their relationship short, sort of thing, the manager and the player. Again, I'm not familiar on Southampton matters, but I know Lemina's a fairly decent player, can play in the Premier League or get a decent move abroad. I wouldn't mind the signing of Lemina. Admittedly, people, there's other profiles I'd like to go through, about 5 or 6 other names before him. That's nothing against him. That's just because I feel there's other players, or I'd like to go for a certain skill set which would help us more. But he's got good technical qualities and whatnot. I would be all open for him, but I don't know how true that interest is. Like I said, if I saw a report earlier that he wanted to leave his club and now he's been linked with Arsenal and United, come on now, people. You know how this football thing works. When you say these sort of sides are interested, it bumps up prices, so that if there is a team that legitly wants him, let's just say West Ham legitly wanted him, you've seen Arsenal and United have made inquiries, you're going to have to buck up your offer, or you're going to have to maybe subconsciously offer stuff you didn't want to, because it's a game of poker. You don't actually know if a team or a player is actually in negotiations with another team unless you know someone on that side. You get it? Football is a game of poker, essentially. So we'll see how that one develops. Malcom, we already know, apparently Malcom's in negotiations with 2 English clubs. Apparently he's been offered to Arsenal. Apparently Emery's asked for him. There's all different conflicting reports. The key one for me is that allegedly, like I said, these their agents or the people working on behalf of Malcom, they're in talks with 2 British clubs, but you've also seen Everton allegedly are preparing a bid or have bidded for him, so maybe he goes elsewhere. It would make sense to at least speak about Malcom. We came close to signing him, as did Spurs. He's gone to Barcelona. His stock has dropped dramatically. He's talking about 30-odd million. He's still someone with a player with a decent amount of potential. There's still the element of resale value. Ultimately, in terms of competency, he is a winger with a kind of skill set we need. So if we could get him for cheaper than Zaha, I don't know how much the budget actually is, but that might allow us to have more adventurous funds elsewhere. I'm just speculating, people. Apparently, they're readying a deal in excess of 31 million, and they've obviously got Lemina from Barcelona, tied up a permanent deal for Gomez. So I'm pretty sure Everton officials, and they've done the thing for De La Feo. So I'm pretty sure Barcelona officials and Everton officials are in good dialogue. They know how each other works. They know how to structure payments. So maybe that is something that can go through smoothly. You've actually seen Arsenal allegedly are interested in Chelsea midfielder Bakayoko. I don't know if he wants to return to Chelsea, but and he might do with a new manager and the transfer ban. But it looks like someone when he left, it was a thing where he doesn't want to return. He had a mixed season, in my opinion, at AC Milan. Better second half of the season, or than the first half, I'm sure. And he got to put respect on his name a bit more. Apparently, Emery likes the player. Apparently, Man United want him, and you have seen PSG linked with him consistently. So again, there's a difference between inquiries actually wanting someone and actually getting it over the line. I'm not too sure. Personally, I'm pessimistic. Chelsea, of course, I do think rival teams will still extort each other, but you've seen Arsenal deal with Liverpool, United deal with Arsenal. You haven't seen Spurs of yet, but you get the point. Teams are starting to deal with each other. Chelsea and Arsenal for Cech and Giroud respectively. Maybe not necessarily for the top players, but people are negotiating. But I don't think Arsenal are legitimately interested in him, to be fair with you, beyond the fact that Emery might like his profile. Not sure if Manchester United, I can't speak for Manchester United. Surely AC Milan might have wanted to make him permanent. I'm not too sure with Ivan Gazidis coming in and links with Benassia and things like that. So we'll see how that one goes, but I think that's nothing more than paper talk. On the Saliba front, apparently we found an agreement for around 30 million euros. We're still discussing bonuses and probably dotting I's and T's, and it will drag on a bit, but apparently we've made progress. So if he's agreed a fee, we've agreed personal terms, then we're making progress. The key element is that he's going to stay on loan allegedly, which makes me believe or have hope that another centre-half is going to come into this club. If not, then there's question marks over Unai Emery and the recruitment staff, because centre-half is one big area. Yes, you've signed a young 18-year-old who would be 19 next season when he comes with terrific potential, but he's not playing here right now. He's not here, so how can the defence improve without better recruitments? Of course, you have the small hope that technically and tactically the existing options can improve, but personally I think we're playing a dangerous game. Yes, I'm happy that we've got the deal over the line. Would have liked to see him come to the club immediately, because he can't do it any worse than some of the individuals here. But if we have to get it over the line and it's worth 30 million now and then he's worth 60 next season, we'll be priced out. So long term, him and Holding could be a good partnership, and long term he will be a good signing for us. But currently he's not here. So what's going on there? Did we just do it because we want to get over the line? Did they concede? Did Arsenal assume his playing level's not ready for the Premier League? Is it like we believe and he said he wants to stay? We'll never know, man. But I'm just dealing with the facts. Centre half and left backs are two areas of priority for me. I'm great we signed a centre half, definitely one with potential, but he's not at the club, or based on reports he's not going to be at the club. Are we really betting on Socrates and Holding? I got complete faith in them. Mavropanos is tried and untested. I believe in him, but there will be times he makes mistakes, like against Palace. Are we really betting on them three to stay fit and things, where we've seen Holding and Socrates get injuries, as well as Socrates' suspension? Koscielny's 34 years of age. He's past it in terms of his age, and is his mindset still here? Because you're seeing him linked with whole heap of other clubs. The less said on Mustafi, the better, people. Obviously, Chambers is currently with the team and training. Whether he gets a chance, who knows, as with Bielik. But are any of these really screaming, convincing options to you, people? Again, I can't speak for everyone, but I don't care if a man is signed for £2 or £20 million or 200 million, as long as someone is competent and consistent. And I think centre-half is a glaring area where we need to improve, and we'll fall short time and time again if we don't address that area. We've also seen as well people moving on. Partizan have been linked with the loan signing of Takuma Asano, a young striker, Japanese striker, signed a couple of years ago for Arsenal after impressing in the Toulon. Hasn't worked out. He's been at loans at Stuttgart, at Hanover, and now he's going to Partizan in Serbia, which took many people by surprise. I'm sure I've read reports that he has a year left on his contract. So if you're loaning a man out with a year left on his contract, are we just doing that just to house him somewhere and we cut ties when it's time to cut ties? Because surely you would want to sell him even for a couple foul people. Does he really have a lack of suitors that much? Now, he had a poor loan spell last season, and he's been linked with Besiktas as well. So we'll see how it goes. But he played 850 minutes on loan at Hanover last season as well. Finally, Stan Kroenke has been pictured at the same table as Donald Trump at Steve Munchin's dinner over there, what they're doing. So that shows what our owner's on and where he is. I just thought I'd include that. But regards to the transfer news, there's not much more to comment on, people. So I'm going to get out of here. People, DG, stay safe. Good morning. Thank you for watching as usual. I'm out.